Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to TSO Crypto, your home for crypto TA. I am your host Martin. Today we're gonna be looking at some stuff we've been looking at crypto new targets. Now, if you're catching this from live, welcome, and if you're catching the replay, you know what to do. Hit the like, hit the bell, the subs, join us on the Discord. Whatever it is, be part of this awesome crypto community. All right, so what are we gonna be looking at today? We're not expecting to see much happening on the daily, right? Already had some things called out. They're coming into play. Daily, very much remaining unchanged from yesterday to today. Actually, when we were live yesterday, we were sitting and resting right where we're at right now, which is the $2.25 trillion mark. Right now, we're at that same area. What's up, Darkstar? How's it going, man? How far that one can go? Sure, man. We could look at that. All right, so we're moving down a little bit on the bearish divergence. Again, we had it at the midline of the downsloping channel that we have for market cap. And again, very, very similar to where we're at yesterday. So we can say that from yesterday to today, as far as movements are concerned, we're at the same level, right? We're at the same price. So we're not getting any violent moves, any wild moves, anything crazy happening on crypto that is telling us the market's going to go any other way, right? So right now, moving down a bit, nothing happening here on the bullish side. Neutral at 46.29 on the RSI. So with that into account, let's go check out the price of Bitcoin, okay? So Bitcoin sitting at 62,853. And let's wait for it to load. And after that, we'll look at Ethereum, and then we'll look at Sol for sure, my friend. All right, Bitcoin, similar stuff, right? We're getting the drop. Where to? Target. We called for a movement down. If we were to move down to around the zone, which is the 62,423, we're hitting slightly below it right now, opening and trying to move back up above that zone. And again, on any movement up, we're still targeting the same area, 64,900, and above there, 66,994. On a movement down, we could be aiming for this support that we drew yesterday, which is around the 57,824, and even on a movement farther down, we'd be looking for 54,230, right? Those are the movements that Bitcoin could be going for on a wild swing up or on a wild swing down. But for now, support, holding it daily, really nothing else going on. Bitcoin on the daily didn't have anything bearish. Market cap had. I think that's why we're not getting any kind of wild moves here, because Bitcoin's still dominant and Bitcoin decided not to drop. We are moving down a bit with what we had on the daily for market cap, but nothing too crazy as far as crypto movements go. For our chart, Bitcoin had the bearish divergence. We are moving down that. Remember, we discussed this happening and being a potential movement that we're going to go for. Here, we do have something that is probably from the 1 hour that is showing up here. Let's send that one back to the 1 hour chart, and we're going to talk about once we get there. But as far as the other moves go and are concerned, we had the bullish divergence, got the pop, had the strong bearish, moving down on that. Remember, we said if we move up, we're going to try to get to 64. We didn't quite get there. We hit that 64, 305, and then the 63, 379. Ultimately holding this one as a resistance, right, immediately, and here wicking it as a resistance, which is a good move from where we were at yesterday when we were live. Then we managed to drop to the support at 60,423, and really not getting any kind of wild move going on besides the bearish divergence. As far as bullishness goes, if we zoom in here, low, lower low, more negative momentum, lower on the RSI. Bitcoin on the 4 hour, not really creating anything besides the bearish divergence that we have. Now, I am thinking that on the 1 hour chart, somewhere around the zone, right, for these candles, we are going to find something that could potentially be bullish. I just want to send that one back to the 1 hour chart. I want to see when we go there if there's some bullishness happening here. Why? Because we're dropping in slightly lower. And it could be that on the 1 hour, we are creating some strong bullish divergence. That's where we're getting the small rally coming in, and that's what could start an upturn here, even though we have nothing here on the 4 hour for an indicator of a moving up or a change in trend. As far as that's concerned, that's where we're at. I mean, nothing else really going on, nothing too crazy happening. 1 hour chart, this is a movement I was looking at. Again, from here to here, I'm just going to zoom in here and see what we have. And as you can tell, most def, right? Here we go. Right, we have bullish divergence strong with that, a possibility for action to the upside. So when we were looking for it, right, when we were looking for it down here, we do have it. And again, that is the move of bullish divergence strong, right? What's up, my friend? Thank you very much for being here, Tristan. So bullish divergence strong, potential production to the upside. We are starting to move back up a little bit. And again, like I said, that's what's leading this movement up on the 4-hour, right? That could spark that next wave up, getting us above 64,900 potentially. Ultimately, we need to get above that zone for us to get to 66,994. Hopefully, we're able to do it. There's really nothing else happening here, man. Really, there's really nothing else happening here as far as bearishness after we called this bearish move, right? We're just kind of chilling there. Right? We're just chilling, waiting for that bullish to take hold. Nothing bearish happening as far as hidden bearish or anything else like that, right? Hyper Rock says, still think it's a fake out. I'm not sure, man. I think it's a legit move down. I think it's a legit pullback. I'm not sure if it's a fake out, right? I can tell you market cap's not where it was, right? As far as crypto movements go. The market cap on the last cycle got to a 3 trillion market valuation. Right now, we're nowhere near that, right? We're about almost $1 trillion away. And that could lead to where Bitcoin goes to higher areas of value. This is going to depend on how the money flows into crypto. If a lot of the money goes into Bitcoin, then yeah, totally. By the time we get to 2 trillion, there's no reason why Bitcoin shouldn't be much higher than where it's at right now, maybe 80, 90, or even 100,000. However, if more money starts flowing into alts and not so much Bitcoin, then we're going to see something like what happened last time, where Bitcoin's still going to rally a little bit more because the market's still Bitcoin centric, but some of the money could be distributed off to other smaller cryptos, so they're going to hold a larger portion of that market cap, right? So not necessarily because the market goes up means Bitcoin's going to go up. It just could also go to some other projects. That flow of money could go somewhere else, right? That distribution of money. But as of now, Bitcoin with bullish divergence strong, potential for that moving up. We said that yesterday when we were here, said if we drop more, we could create that bullish divergence and then we could be on an uptrend. We're looking for that uptrend. That is precisely what we're getting today, which is, again, no surprise given market conditions and no surprise given that we failed to drop to where we were supposed to go. Remember, we broke out of a large structure in Bitcoin, right? We broke out of the large triangle. We should have aimed for this level here, very close to 55,497. We could have even dropped to 54,230 on that move and drop out of the 62,423. We're failing to drop to those levels. So going back above and holding here is not necessarily a bad thing. This is an area where we found support in the past, not only here, and if we zoom farther out and farther back out, we're also going to see areas that held support in this here zone, right? So here slightly, and then here as well, very briefly. So on the overall grand movement of things, this is an area that we felt that we found support in the past. Getting up above it puts us in that safe zone where we're trying to climb up and like really just clawing to that edge and refusing to drop. That is a bulls fighting for that level, right? Ultimately, it's just a larger consolidation movement, right? Impulse up, down, slope consolidation is just a larger formation. When we look at it on the weekly, we know it doesn't look as bad, right? So I'm just waiting for it to load. It's going to take a little bit. And then I'm going to show what I'm talking about here on the weekly. Again, this weekly is going to have some fibs. We're going to ignore them. Or we might have them on the daily. But I just want to show what we're talking about, okay? It's all good. We'll wait. We'll wait for you. Creating videos, not like we have a show to go through. All right. So, all right. See that impulse up? Down, slope, and consolidation, right? So we had that nice movement up. So we had this large impulse. And now we're starting to get that consolidation coming through, right? See? So it could be that we're consolidating before the next break up. I wouldn't be conflicted by that idea, right? On a larger scale, on the weekly, it certainly seems to make sense that we could be setting up for that next move. It would be much stronger if we were to drop somewhere around here, maybe even down here, right? To create that handle formation. To create that handle formation for a large cup and handle structure, that's going to have huge implications as far as movement up goes, right? So, yeah. Yeah, so looking for that cup formation, the handle formation. Now, as far as what you're talking about, getting a movement down to break through, there's two ways to looking at it, right? So when you have a resistance and when you're faced with a resistance level, let's say your price is coming up and then you hit it and then you move a little bit down and you hit it, then you move a little bit down and you hit it again, then you move a little bit down and you hit it again. It's going to take a lot more to plow through that level. And at some point in time, either you're going to get tired because you're not able to bypass that zone and then you're just going to push back down, or you're going to get through it, but you're going to be exhausted for fighting at this level. and then you're going to move up to the next supply zone, which could be, you know, maybe somewhere around here, right? So, and then you're going to fight at this level. What some people seem to suggest as far as that goes is that it is usually best if once we hit and we test a couple times, we pull back, right? And then we run with strength and then we plow through, because that movement up is going to have so much more momentum and is going to be carrying a lot more buyers and a lot more buying power with it. That's going to be able to punch through that much faster than, you know, just inching at it like every couple days. So yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense to think about it that if we pull back down and we try to push through, the movement's going to carry much more momentum and much more strength. So yeah, that would seem to make sense to some extent. Okay. All right, but that's it for Bitcoin. Let's go check out Ethereum real quick and see what's going on there, right? All right, waiting for it to load. Ethereum, Ethereum, whatever this coin is. Yeah. All right. Ethereum. Wait, no, that's an element. Ah, man, I just waiting for this to load. It's just taking forever. Come on, Ethereum, load up. There we go. Alrighty, so what's Ethereum doing? Sorry about if I clear my throat a lot, guys. I'm still not 100% from, you know, being sick last week. So, bullish divergence, getting a small pop. Nothing bearish happening afterwards, right? So we're rejecting at the same level, and it's just following Bitcoin, right? Slightly drop, now trying to push back up. We got 3,158. That's a resistance right now, currently at 3,031. So again, gonna try to run back up, potentially to overtake that zone, and then try to move to a 3,324 if Bitcoin rallies, right? Let's go to the smaller time scales. It's really nothing happening on the daily to give us a better idea as to what could be happening here. So what we're looking at here, it is the bearish divergence. We have some bearish divergence here happening on a larger move that is creating hidden bearish, and then the shorter move we have strong bearish, and that's what we got. They're moving down. That's what we called for yesterday. If you remember, we were talking about that move and how we're gonna get that motion down. Now we're talking about this inverse this inverse head and shoulders forming here. We broke through and got more than a measure move for that movement to happen. As far as anything happening from this low to this low, or even within this low to this low, it's really nothing, man. We're still, again, even here, negative, less negative, and negative momentum to also more negative momentum, right? So coming down lower here in the price, making more negative momentum, and then from here still going higher with less negative momentum. Really not doing anything cool as far as divergences go for us to talk about a potential shift in trend or a potential market condition change. So with that, let's go to the 1 hour and see what's going on there. All right. On the 1 hour chart, just waiting for it to load. Very likely going to see the same divergence we saw with Bitcoin at this point. Because the market is more or less moving in unison. We're not doing anything particularly weird. None of the large projects are doing their own thing. They're all following Bitcoin's dance, and Bitcoin's really playing a tune to which the market is moving. Gotta wait for it to load. Come on. Jump on. Go in there. Look at this. The move, by the way, I think I can draw maybe. While the things load up, the move is going to be like this. I'm not sure why the other indicators are not coming live, but we're going to draw it here. And be happy with it. All right, look at these happy lines. All right, we're going to draw happy lines for divergence. The bullish divergence, strong potential for action to the upside. Starting to get that upwards motion on the move here. Nothing really bearish. Maybe something in this ear bit. That could have been part of the reason that we moved farther down. I'm just going to move into the... I'm just going to draw it here. I want to get an idea if I can match it with the movement here. Seems to be there. All right. So hidden bearish. Continuation and moving down. Now creating strong bullish. Going for that upper motion. What I don't like is that the upper motion seems to be rounding off. So instead of like going, you know, with a movement up strong, it's more like we're rounding it off, and it could lead to farther sell off, right? Because we're not seeing strength. Also, there's no volume, right? Look at the volume; it's trash here. Like really, nothing happening. We can look at the daily, right? The rally, whatever it is that we're rallying, have a lot less volume than when we're tanking. When we're tanking, there's a lot of volume moving. Look at this, a lot of volume. Rallying, less volume than the day before, right? Dropping a lot of volume, dropping a lot of volume, right? Dropping some volume, not as lot as we had in the past, but now that we're rallying again, granted, they're just starting. We still have 19 hours to go, but we're still not seeing a lot of volume coming in, right? So the movements with pumps don't seem to have a lot of volume behind them to you know, guarantee the movements that we're getting. It's just like we're getting the movements because we're bullish, but we're really not having any volume behind them, right? It's just kind of bland as far as movements go. Same thing happens with Bitcoin, and we saw it the other day when we were talking about it. All right, so up next, we're going to look at Solana. That was what got requested. Let's go check it out. All right, darkness, we're going to do Solana. Let's get it on the daily, see how low can you go? How low can you go, right? How low can you go? All right, Solana getting a bounce and bullish divergence. Great Scott. If we would have only drawn it. Oh, wait, we did. Where are we at? Rejecting, right? Fibs. Good stuff. Look, Solana still holding to what we talked last. I don't remember when we were here last, but I remember we talked about the divergence because it's drawn. We also talked about the fibs because they're there. They're probably not as far as to where we're at right now, but they're there for shizzle. For shizzle. So I'm going to draw that and extend them a little bit more. And there we go. Why am I extending them? I just want to see where we're at as far as fibs. So try to drop below the 618. Holding on to it, right? Holding on to it. Pushing back up, getting above the 50% retrace, and ultimately rejecting 382. We really need to climb back up, and the next target, once we get above the 106, is going to be the 236 at 174. That's the area we should be aiming for before we ultimately look for that climb back up and getting above $190. Now, as far as the movement down goes, if we are to drop from where we're at, support at 142 potentially, then 128, then 108, then ultimately 82, and then on the movement further back down, we're looking around $70.61. Those could be the moves for Solana if Solana wanted to drop. Solana. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna be zooming in here and draw some divergences for funds. All right, look at this, man. Why is it bringing in coordinates? I don't care about the coordinates. I just care about the time frame that you're going to show it in. All right, here we go. Visibility. Visibility. All right, look at this, right? We have hidden bearish divergence. All right. With that, the potential for action to the downside, getting that moving down a bit, and struggling and rejecting that zone. And the reason that we're rejecting that 382 at 156 is because we have the hidden divergence. Now, that could lead us to where we try to find support at 142 before we rally, right? Unless we find something on the 1 hour that's going to tell us something different. But other than that, Solana, not looking that bad, right? If we zoom in here, there's positive momentum. Same move, which is true against the RSI. We could trace it and track it here to the MACD, right? That's look at that. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful. There we go. All right, let's go to the 1 hour chart. All right, 4 hour chart. Sorry if I said one. I have this bearish divergence. Oh, look at that. It's just so bearish. And it's bearish divergence strong, by the way. That is coming in and potentially moving down. I just want to confirm it. And we do have it. It's from one hour to the next. Look at that. These are divergences that are bearish. We haven't looked at Solana since back here when we looked for that bullish where we popped. And then we move farther down. Now, on this movement down, guess what? We're going from one island to the next. So, anchor from there to there. And with that, we are getting that movement down where it's going from there to like there, you know. And that's the move. We didn't have it against the RSI, just against the MACD. Got our pop on the bullish divergence right now, creating that strong bearish just against the MACD, not against the RSI. against the RSI, any kind of bearish divergence that we're formulating right now would be around here. And even then, I'm going to zoom in because it just seems like it's basically going sideways. And if I position the marker here, you're going to see that it's very, very slightly lower than the previous high. You know, we still go for that strong bearish at that point in time, you know, and say, okay, there's strong bearish divergence on this last little bit, as long with the MACD. And that's part of the reason we're getting that movement down. Now, on the movement down, we are creating some hidden bullish. Yay for the hidden bullish divergence. Hidden bullish divergence tells us that we're looking for some kind of support. We're trying to hold, trying to look for continuation on a movement up. And that is tracking from here to here, here to here, and ultimately from here to here, right? Bam, bam. And again, bullish divergence, hidden potential for moving up. That moving up would lead us to, again, the targets that we called for on the 1 hour. I don't have the fibs here, but we should be aiming it ultimately, right, on a good rally up to 190. That's our main target. We have minor targets as we go with fibs. We might have called out on the daily, but that's what we're looking for as far as a move. Now, on the 1 hour chart, we're looking for bullish divergence here. We got a small pop, drop farther down, right? And on that drop farther down, I'm just going to draw all this stuff right now because we no longer have it because we weren't here looking at it. All right, look at this. Bullish divergence strong against the MACD, against the RSI, right? That's why that move came to be. Boom. Already looking for it here. It happens that we dropped a little bit more before we finally got it, and then we got our nice rally coming through. Now, anything that happens here in the middle, I'm not going to look at because that's already past history. I just want to explain why that happened after we were gone. That way, when this happens, we're not here. You know what to look for, right? Divergences and things of that nature. But once we zoom in here, we're going to be able to quickly notice that we have a couple moves. One that goes from here to here. And I just want to make sure it's this. Yeah, it's in the 1 hour. All right, the other one goes from here to here. All right, those are the moves. Boom and bam. That is that. Now, the movement goes from here to here. And ultimately, when we zoom in, we're going to see that it also goes from here to here, right? So it's in 2 stages. Bearish divergence strong, and then even more bearish divergence strong. As we're moving farther up in the price, we're dropping on the RSI, relative strength. Something extremely similar happens here. We go from here to here. And ultimately from here to here. There are some breaks here on islands that could state, and if we want to be really, really close with the way we do the technicals, we wouldn't be calling it here because there's this break on the island, right? There's this negative momentum break here. That kind of ruins it because then from here to here, we don't have it. But the only one we would have at that point in time is this one that is still tracking with what we saw here on the RSI as well, right? The bearish divergence strong, moving down, and on that movement down that we're doing here, we are creating some hidden bullish, and that happens to come from here to here, and it matches with what we can see on the RSI from the same point. So here to here, right? We're dropping, but we are higher on the price, right? So we're doing a higher low than the previous low. And when we're coming lower on the RSI, we're actually pushing back farther down. So we're less strong than relative strength that we were at before at the lower area. So that hidden bullish divergence creates that disparity for price action to stagnate, try to correct itself, and potentially try to go back up. And that's what we're looking for on Solana. Moving up. So on the 1 hour, we have bullishness. On the 4 hour, we have some bullishness. All hidden as well. And then on the daily, we have strong bullish. Some hidden bearish coming overhead to put pressure, but ultimately we have the bullishness on the short time scales to tell us that we're looking for the movement to go back up, right? Or hold or try to go back up and reverse itself and correct. So that being the case, again, we're going to be looking at targets around here, 156, 174, ultimately 190. Is that cool, Darkness? We did Solana with all that into consideration. Let's go check out the DXY. All right, dollar index. We're looking for that hidden divergence. I'm pretty sure that we had corrected that to there yesterday. I'm not sure why that didn't save, but possibly that we moved it. hidden bullish still coming into play. We're looking for that movement up. We're still going up. And like I said, we could be back testing the zone on that trend line because we're holding support at that 618, 104. Ultimately, throwback could lead it to where, you know, we back test the zone, reject, and then just take that drop. If that could be one of the possibilities. If we manage to reclaim that neckline, we could back test it and then just shoot off from there, right? Ultimately, whatever happens after we hit that test line for the next couple times is going to be what's going to be deciding what's going to be happening. So for now, we have the hidden. We're getting that rally. That's about it. Really nothing else happened on DXY since we looked at it from yesterday. Still strengthening. Right now, still going up. But guess what? DXY is going up. Not only that, Bitcoin's also going up. So it's not, today is not being as correlated as it was in the past where, you know, the dollar index was going up and then Bitcoin was going down. Right now, they're both going up. Okay. Coolio. With all that said and done, with all that said and done, guys, we're going to be calling it a stream for tonight. I'm still like getting over being sick. I still feel really, really tired right now. I'm going to go get some Z's. I'll be here on Thursday for another edition of TSO Crypto. But I definitely need to get some rest, man, so I can be 100% and keep on recovering. So, with all that into account, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. If you enjoyed the content, you know what to do. Hit the like, hit the bell, hit the sub, join us on the Discord. You know, all those fun things that you can do to become part of this awesome crypto community. We're here almost every night, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, unless I'm sick or something like that happens, but I'm usually here those days. Thank you very much for joining, and I'll catch you again on Thursday for another edition of TSO Crypto. All right, guys, until then.